Hi all, it's Kylie from Kylie's Card Craft again. Thought today we'd just do a little craft with me while I work with my new journal. The other week we did, and it has been a little while now because we've had Christmas in the middle of it all and everything else. I have cheated and done a little bit with my back signature, almost finished my back signature, but I thought we'd just continue to work on this first signature. I will put a link in the video at the bottom of the description for how I did my front cover, which was in part 1. This will be part 2, and I'll see how I go. There may be a part 3, or I might just finish it off and there'll be a full flip through. What I want to do, so this is where we got to last time, and then I just finished this one off. I've since been working on my back signature, as I said. I did finish the inside cover, which I said I was going to use this map paper that I just photocopied off and then tea-dyed and added my lace to. So I've done that both front and back. So that's all done, and I knew he was all finished off. These are the bits that we worked on the other week, and we'll start afresh here now. I have just done the back of this one. I want to stamp this page and give it a few journaling lines. I like lots of journaling in my journals, so you'll find I have quite a few pages and tags where I can journal in. So this one I'm just going to pop a stamp on, but before all that was done, I've gone through and added it's just a serviette that's been adhered to the page, ready for this pocket. So for our first part, we'll stamp on this stamping mat, which will be tucked under, which will give me my soft edge. And I'm just going to use the Darkroom Door stamp. So Full Bloom Volume 1 came out in 2009, but I know they're still available. And what I want is that one. If I can get it up. They don't come in the tins anymore. They come in the DVD cases. And that will fit beautifully just along this side. So that then there'll be journaling all around there. Except it's going to go that way. So I'll just grab a block. Should just fit on that one. Yes, it does. And I will do that in my coffee ink. No, actually, let's do it in sepia. So it's just my normal archival inks that I use. When I stamp, I like to stamp sideways. I can see where my stamping mat is in here, which will stop a lot of the bulk as I go as well. And then I can just stamp him straight down like so. So to ink him up, put my stamp flat on the table and take my ink pad to my stamp. So just down. Give him a good few pats. Don't swipe, remember. So we just want a clear impression going on that. So you can see that I've got no swiped areas on that one. Turn him over. Bring my stamp mat to the edge again. And I'm going to go about there. I'll give him just a little bit of a rock with this one because I have got lots of other tags and bits and pieces already going in my book. And there we go. So I'll clean him off, and when I clean him off, I just generally give him a wipe with my cloth. Put him back in there so I know where he is. He's one of my favourite stamp sets. And I'll tuck him to the side. Put my lid back on my ink pad. Put that one away. Take out my stamping mat. And there he is there. So what I'm going to do is just draw a few lines. Excuse me, will I grab a pen? I don't want black. I want a dark brown. Now it's just an outline one, but they're a nice fine point. and we'll just give it a few lines. And going by eye so that I can go around my stamped image. Now I've got a stencil that I like to use as well to give me my lines, but I find that it's a thicker line, which works really well sometimes. But for this sort of one, I want just a fine line. I've got stamps as well that have got lines on them, just journal lines. But I find when I'm going around a stamped image, I would much prefer to actually just draw them in so that I can draw them around the image. So that way you can see how I've gone around the image and left just a small gap between my journal lines and my actual image, and hope that I'm going straight as I go. We'll soon find out when I turn the book back around, or when I get towards the bottom. I'll see just how out of whack I am. If I find I'm a little bit out of whack when I get towards the bottom, I will stop earlier, because then it's not quite as noticeable, because I'm not right against the edge of the page. This one looks to be going fairly well, so we'll go down there. And I might finish there. See how it's going a little bit off the line? If I gave that another line, because there's definitely room here, it would really look out on this side. So we'll finish just there. So there's that page, stamped image, and all my journaling ready to go. Flick him over. That one I just want to leave as that so that I don't end up too fat. So every now and again I just like flat pages with nothing on them. So this one's an envelope that I've got, that I've cut down this section and it's sewn into the signature. And I will probably put a pocket here, which will tuck, and then we've got a pocket on this side. So for this one, what I want to do, we've just had Christmas. My daughter for Christmas bought me some craft stuff, and in amongst them, now a moment, let's have a look. This is my carry-all bag with some serviettes. She gave me some beautiful embossed green serviettes. See the embossing on them? Can you see that? If I hold it still. Had to have a play on Christmas Day. It was just, it's the most beautiful, beautiful thing. But I hadn't worked with the embossed ones before. I've done lots with the normal serviettes, but not with the embossed ones. So I wanted to see just how well the embossing stayed on there instead of having to pull out my embossing folders each time and my die cutting machine, etc. Now they were a 3-layered serviette. Hang on a moment. In here, so on Christmas Day, let's just have a look and see if I've got them in. This one, no. I've got stuff everywhere, sorry girls, as per normal. What am I looking for? Something that's not here. It's already on my desk. It's already on my desk. Right, so on Christmas Day I came in very quickly and grabbed a tag, or just a tag shape, in a, got a green, and I can't find that anywhere. That'll teach me. I want those. Oh, no, don't know where it is. Got a piece of green cardstock, about 2 inches wide, 6 inches long, and laid it in, glued it with just my glue stick, laid my serviette over it, pressed it down, and I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I'm still looking for this tag. Can't find it anywhere. And then folded it back over and did the other side. So where I pushed it a little bit harder, I lost all my embossing. So with the next side, I just gently patted and it kept all this embossing, and they're beautiful. But, excitement, excitement. As I said, they're a 3-layer serviette. The next layer had a slight green tinge to it. The bottom layer is a pure white embossed serviette. So again, put it on some cream cardstock so that the cream would show through, and did a very quick tag with it. This was Christmas Day between lunch and tea, more or less, because I just had to have a play. Added some lace and bits and pieces and all the rest, and that will go in this journal at some stage as well. But I really like this embossed feel with the serviette. It makes it look as though the paper was embossed. So what I want to actually do with my envelope is do the same technique. So here's my embossed, or what's left of my embossed serviette, and I'm just going to lay it over. Now my envelope I tea-dyed to start with, because at that stage when I'm putting my book together, I'm not quite certain which way I'm going to go and all the rest. So if it's already there and it's already tea-dyed, if I just want to put a few things on it or a cluster, I know it's all ready to go. But if I want to cover it like I'm going to do now, it doesn't really matter. So this is going to be adhered to it. And I know it's a window-faced envelope, but by the time I've got this on, you can't really see the window. This will give this beautiful embossed look in here. So what we're going to do, and I just want to scrap the paper, that'll do, so that I don't get glue on this side. And I'll grab another scrap of paper there that I can just sit against this side. So with my glue stick, I use the blue glue only because then I can see exactly where I've gone. So if I tuck that right there and that right there, it's covering the rest of my book, so that I can now just go through and add my glue. Make sure I get all my corners going down. So you can see how my glue hits this side. So this is why I have another piece of paper on that side as well. So across my window, make sure all my edges are done. It's a bit crinkly because, as I said, I'd already tea-dyed this envelope. I think that's got it all. Sit you there. Move that away. So my serviette on this side is fine. And I'll move that one away. Again, I'll turn it sideways because that's just how I like to do things. And right into the edge, and then I can start to flatten it out. But I don't want to push too far or too hard. I don't mind if I get a slight crinkle because I like that look in the serviettes. And it just gives it a little bit more texture. So you can see where I've got flat spots from the embossed serviette. They're the ones that I will push down. And I'll just do it with my fingers to start with, and then I'll go back over with my cloth. I use my fingernail to really get into that section. And now I'll use my cloth just to lightly push it down. I don't want to push too hard, and because that's how I ended up flattening my embossed section before. Look, I've done this with embossing folders and all the rest, but I haven't done it with the embossed serviettes, and they're probably not something that I would have gone out and purchased. I love my serviettes. I've got lots and lots of serviettes, but I'd never bought the embossed ones. And look, they're just so much fun to play with. So fold him over. Give him another little section on the corners because I really want to make sure my corners are in. And then it's just a matter of trimming it up. When I trim it up, I use my large scissors, and I will just cut it so that it's slightly smaller and more manageable to use, and then I can trim it properly, which is good because that's not good cutting. Now I'm a righty, so I have my scissors in my right hand, being careful not to actually cut my envelope. Doesn't make that much difference on this side because this is my opening anyway, but I've got it to a certain size, and that's the size I want. And I'm being good. Look at that. I'm chucking those pieces in the bin. Whereas normally, I keep all these little bits. And I mean, I keep all these little bits. They're just yummy. You never know where you might want them. So we'll go down this side as well. Now this one doesn't have an opening in it, so we want to make sure we definitely don't cut into our envelope, which will create another pocket. All right, there we go. And look at that. Look at that embossed finish on that envelope. Now I will still put stuff on this, but it gives that beautiful, beautiful background. And across this side. Oh, big scissors, small workspace, doesn't really work. Right. So there's that side of our envelope. We've got a pocket in here, which I will actually pop a little thumb hole in so that everybody realises that it's a pocket. Like so. It opens. There we go. So I will have on this side, and I'll probably just put, might do a little pocket of such down here, which will also cover a little bit more of my open window. Then I can have some tags, and because it's not as tall as my book, I can have some taller tags in that one as well. So going back to our papers, let's have a look and see what we've got. Look at that. That's perfect size. So we'll use that one. And I don't want it too much, so I reckon 2 inches will be plenty. I can start at that and then go further down if needed. So that well and truly covers up our... Needs to be a little bit smaller because I've covered my thumb hole. So I just need to take off just a small section again. I might take it back up, if you can see that, to that next line of words. And then see if that fits. Oh look, I had a clear desk a minute ago. Alright, so I'm still covering up my window face, and I'm now right at the edge of my thumb hole, so that fits beautifully. So I'll ink around that one again, just with my walnut stain, just to give it an edge. It's fairly white down the bottom and yellowed at the top, this piece of cardstock, and it's just old scrapbook paper, so it's a little bit heavier weight, but I'm not worried about the weight. What I want is the finish and the look of it. So that's going to be stuck in here like so. I'm just going to grab some antique linen, again in the Distress Inks, and just take off a little bit of that white. Even though this is white, it's got that tea dye behind it, so it's not that stark. And I'm just going to rough that up a little bit, just to give it a little bit of an aged look. So that's just the antique linen, and very roughly just over like so. That's brushed corduroy. Let's see if we've got any. Yeah, there's a little bit still on that one, which is the brushed corduroy. I always have the 3 sitting in front of me: walnut stain, brushed corduroy, and antique linen. And quite often, if I haven't used one of them for a little while, there'll still be a little bit on my foam. So it means that I can just go over like that and take that away. So, all right, there's the initial piece where it would have joined up. So you can see the difference that I've done in it now. So if I stick that to that, beautiful. So I'm just going to use my wet glue. Actually, what I want is another finger tuck. And I just need to ink around where I've just cut into him. Two reasons I like my finger tucks. They're easier to pull stuff out of, and it means that when I turn it over, I know exactly which way's the top, and I don't have to keep second guessing myself. So let's see. Here it comes. And across. It's not running beautifully well. It should be running a little bit better than that. And back up. Put the lid on. Just one of my big mistakes that I always do. And we'll adhere him. Now I'll start right in my corner. Follow my bottom one along. I can shuffle it over a little bit just so that it runs up the side of there. I don't mind if it's a little bit away from the centre because it allows it then to give a little bit more when the book is closed. Right, what I like to do once I've stuck these on is just put a few, I'm going to say drawing pins. They're not drawing pins, are they? Paper clips. I always have a pile of paper clips on my desk. And it just holds it in there. The glue doesn't take that long to dry, but because my book is starting to get fatter, it means that it'll start to bend like so. I want a flat surface for the glue to adhere to. So in order to get that, I will just pop some paper clips. I need a long one for that tall bit. Bear with me. Just down here in my bits and bobs. There we go. I have some long gold ones. Now I use these when I'm doing altered paper clips, but they're a good length for when I want to get right up the side, and it'll hang on to that one because that's generally the size that I do my bottom pockets. So while that's drying, and I'm going to just, that will be done as well, and I might just put some, I think I've got some lovely advertising that I think I want on there as well. It'll have a little journal card in there, and these ones I like as journaling spots. I like the grid paper for that because it means that you can do a little sketch, you can do some wording, whatever else. So I tend to, oh, halfway through a signature. Don't you like that? Okay, but what I like to do on these is actually put notes or memories or thoughts or whatever else. So I look over here. So I've got notes written on these ones. I've got thoughts on these ones. I think I have some more with notes written on them. So same sort of thing with these one. With this one, I have some very old little alphabet stickers, and you can see that I use them, but they're just one of these things that you just never ever finish. So that's what I was determined to do with this. So what I need, apart from putting away my ink lids and lids on blues, is something up here or down here for notes. I would like, let's have a look, something that I can write notes on. I have a pile of little cream offcuts. Because most of my work is done in these sorts of colours, I always have a pile of these ones sitting here where I can do bits and pieces on them. Now, notes, N-O-T-E-S, 5 letters with these ones, if I adhere them side by side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's around about 3 centimetres. Yep, which is a bit over an inch. An inch and an eighth, I think. Yes, look at that. So I need something that's going to be able to measure that. So if I just chop him off at that point, I know that they're going to fit in there. So I want him a little bit larger. All right. Which is this. I'm going to pop my notes, these on now, and then I'm going to decorate it. There we go. I want that back around here. I want my tweezers. Sorry, girls, I'm going to have to reach in because my tweezers are way over there. And I want notes. And again, with all of mine, I ink each of these. And this is where you get really inky fingers because they're so tiny. And then I need to hold on to them with that. So if I set this on my grid, I want this centre line here is round about the centre. So if I go there, if I go up here, you can see even better what I'm doing. This is my centre line. If I go there, and if I only just stick them down, it means that I can move them if required. What did I do with my blending brush? There it is. And so I hope we're all doing well. So glad you could join me again today. It's been a little while. This would have to be the longest I've left it. Sorry, it's been, you know, Christmas and all the rest in amongst it all. And I kept saying I was going to get back, but I just haven't had time. As I said, I have done a little bit more of my journal, but only because I find, oh, look, I've got 15 minutes before I've got to cook tea, or, oh, I've got 20 minutes before I've got to take another child to work, or whatever else. So I can sit down and do a little bit, but I've never had quite enough time to actually sit down and do another tutorial or talk to everybody. And I miss talking to you all. Whether you're working along with me and getting ideas, or whether you've just got me playing in the background while I ramble on, I don't mind. That's fine if you just like me to ramble on beside you. But yes, it's been the longest I've had between YouTubes. So I thought, right, I've got an hour today before, again, I've got to go back out and pick my son up from work. So I thought, surely I've got time to sit down and do another one. Oh, that's fairly even. Happy with that. Right, so what I'm going to do with that one now is I'm just going to do stitching line. I think he might be just a little bit wider than what I want. I'm just going to trim off top, bottom. That side's just a little bit over. Right, now so I'm just going to stitch, dot, and give it just a little bit of decorative edge so that it's not just a plain piece of cardstock sitting on there. This is why I like to have just my little offcuts sitting around, because I use them for all sorts of little bits and pieces. I will also use them when I'm trying to work out sizes for tags that need to go in. I'll pick up a piece of my offcut, tuck it in. Yep, that's about the right size. And then I can make a tag knowing that the width is fine. See, I've got to concentrate occasionally because I forget whether I've dotted or dashed. And one last dot. Right. So see how we've changed him now? I will once again just give him a highlight on the edge. And there we go. So we'll glue that one on. That one. And I can go all the way around this because it's not becoming a pocket. But I could always make a pocket in these ones with a little tag that says notes as well. Just give you a little bit in there so that I know it definitely sticks. Pick him up. Stick you down there. give you a wipe with my cloth just to pick up any glue that's oozed out as I've gone to stick him down. All right. Oops. So this is my, again, another notes page. That's what both of these ones will be as well. So I will make up the little few ones of these in different forms. Look, it may be one going through here. I might just write notes. Oh, N-O-T-E-S. I could do something along this line. I don't like my handwriting. And I know we should all just embrace what we are and all of our quirks. But I will probably cut out some letters. So to save you all, while I go and get the die cutting machine and cut out some letters, but I might put N-O-T-E-S going down here. Same on this side. And then we're back to the other side of our pocket. So, but while I've been talking about this one, this should have completely dried now. Let's have a look. Yep, he's nice and dry. So we can go back and finish this one off. Take all those off. So they don't take long to be on there, but it just means that it's holding it for me because I'm starting to get quite full. So I've got a pocket that can be done in here, and I've got a pocket that can go in there. And this is what I mean when I pick up my other bits and pieces. So I can put one in there. I could put a couple of smaller ones, I'm thinking. So if I go one long one to sit in here, I could have a smaller one in there. So I like that look, which still gives me more my embossed serviettes, but these are the sizes that I'd like. So with this one, what I might do with him is I'm going to cover both of them, and I'm actually going to use those scraps. I'll move that one out of the way, and I will find, let's have a look at all these paper pads. And I might just go straight down there. And I know it's got the cute little fairy, but I'm not a fairy person. But I do love all the backings. So, just my glue book. If I do it on the cream cardstock, it means I've already got a plain on the back that can be a journal posie as well. So, that one, I liked this section. And I want the lines to go up that way. So, say goodbye to the fairy, sorry. She's gone. We'll just pretend that she was never there. Oh, I've got glue on my fingers, and I put glue on the back of that. So it might just need something going up there. And the other one, I might actually do in that grey, in that side. So if I glue this one, we'll glue that side of it because that one's already got something all over it anyway. See, they're just my scraps where I've done a stamped image, then trimmed it down or whatever else. Right, and this one, I'd like this corner. Adhering down there, push him down. Right, and then we'll just trim both of those off. Straight up. No, I've got so much glue on my fingers. There's one. And here's the second one, just my little one. What I'm going to do with my big one, trim you there, sit you there, put my big scissors away. So now I've got these two. Move that out of the way. This one, which way do I want it? That way, I think. And just take the corners out. Like so. So again, it's just my circle punch. And I've just going to round about there. So that what I've now got is that little tag shape. Again, with my walnut stain. Just along my edges. Takes the white core, or the cream core really for this one, off, because I've used a cream coloured cardstock, but I've still got a journal tag on the other side. This one might actually give you a tag shape. If I cut you there, turn that over, sit it up in this corner. Now we'll see, because as you can see, I've lost half my fingernails, and you might as well just cut my fingers off because I'm just as useless. And there. Right, so I've just given that one a very quick tag shape. Go around him. And they're going to sit in like that. Still like some wording or something on there. I have. No, might have to go back to that because I don't think I have them actually here. Let's have a look. All I'm doing is I've got a little container with bits in it. See what I mean? Just keep all of these sorts of things. And we'll see what we've got in amongst all these. I don't know. Oh, look. See, there's a little piece of that embossed tag that I did. What about some music? Timeless. Or maybe some lace. Let's go some lace. Maybe. Let's have a look. Quite like that one, but it still wants something over it. This is what I get for just sitting down. This one's slightly smaller, are you? Oh, look at that. It's the same lace. And is that more of it? No, that one's a little bit different, but it's a little bit creamier. No, I think I like the white. This is what I get for just sitting straight down without actually thinking of what I was doing and not getting any stamps. So, which is really strange for me. Right, got a little bit of lace there, which can sit in here, and it might actually just that. I'll sit him up like that. I still want a word or something on there. So what can I find in a hurry that I've got sitting around here? Oh, hang on a moment. I've got that. Let's see if we can do something with that, because I've only got my wooden stamps sitting in front of me. All my clear stamps are sitting to the side of me in their little associated folders. Again, another little scrap of that. I've got a bigger scrap. Don't know what. That's a better colour. So, did anyone see what I did with my stamping mat? Doesn't matter. Problem solved. I found it. So if I go again into the sepia, I still want to tear around this. Don't know whether this one's going to be a bit too thick to tear, because I just want a word. Cashmere, or just the fabric word. You dry, you're dry. Oh no, it's going to tear. And down, just so that I can pull out. Again, see, I like my stamps because I can do so much with them. Right. Tear off that bit there without taking off the C. I'll give it a little bit in the... Darken that up. I'll not darken it right up, actually. A little bit of that brushed corduroy, just so that it looks a bit older. And I'll see, all I'm doing is breaking the fibres in the cardstock so that it's a bit softer, it's a bit squishier, and it looks a bit more warm now. So let's have a look. I'm going to do this one, and I want that lace. And what did I do with that lace? We can always cut more, which is probably why I have so many in this lace. I had about 3, I think. 1, 2, 3. Or do I want a smaller lace to start with? If that's gathered in there, like so, fabric sits over that. Ugh. I don't want that lace at all, actually. I want a smaller lace. What have I got in a smaller one? No, you're too thick. Let's have a look at these ones. Get another pile. The fabric store was having a Boxing Day sale, so I've been in and got a hope of different laces and trims, etc. But none of those are going to work on that. Go back to this initial one. I've got a little one in here. Here we go. That's probably a better size, isn't it? So I'm thinking now, so I've changed my mind completely now. Just while I play around with that, do I want him actually over? And so now I've changed my mind completely, and I'm thinking of actually doing a cluster underneath it. So we'll go 1, 2, what else have I got in there? It's the same one, wasn't it? See, I keep finding them now. Now that I don't need them. I had a little. You're a little one again. Let's take a little piece of you. Right. So let's see what we've got there. 1 and 2. That one needs to be smaller then, doesn't it? Let's just do that. Right. So I want that one, but I really only want them attached at the top so that they will flap around, if that makes sense. Scrap piece of paper again, just so that I can check that this glue's working. Yep, beautiful. And it was round about there. Oh, it's stringy. Like so. And then that was that one. I don't have to be perfect. I just want them on there. That one might need a little bit more because it's so wide. Right. How's that? Take away the stringiness. That one, I'm actually going to use that as well, which is just my Helmar 450, but I just want bobs, dibs and dobs, bobs, you know what I mean, so that I don't push out all that area that I've squashed up. And I can just loosely sit it on. It adheres really well, and it's got a little bit of substance to it, so it will allow all that just to sit up. Yep, beautiful. So if you tuck in there, how's that? Oh, that's pretty. That's just pretty. All right, so I've just got to do that one in there. I'll very quickly do him and then we'll finish for the day. I need something that's round about 3.5 inches. All right, and so if we're 3.5 inches, I have all sorts of things. So let's have a look at that. Oh, how can I get into such a big mess in such a short amount of time? And how high? And what did I just do with my ruler? Love this little ruler for working. It's such a great little size, but my word, I lose it. I don't want him much taller, much longer than that. I could put a tab on him, I suppose, couldn't I? If I put a lace tab on him, so he's almost 3.5 square. So if I do 3.5 square, that one out of the way, turn that round, 3.5. It doesn't look square, but it must be. Yeah, that'll work well. And I'll put a lace tab on that. So, just to start with again, because I can't do anything without inking around it, it is pure personal preference. It's up to you what you want to do. Yep, on that side, because that'll be my journal side. 1, 2. If I stop and actually watch what I'm doing, I reckon I'd be scary. So this is our side that's going on. I'm going to pop something on that page, and I have down here. I want those ones, is what I want. No. Oh, I've got mess everywhere. But I did find my green tag. Look at that. See, that was the green for my original serviette. And I'm going to tuck him over here where my tag should be. Alright, let's have a look. What have I got? they're nowhere near large enough. So, they're too small. Let's have a look at this one. They're really the wrong colours, aren't they? Oh, that one might work, the bottom of that colour. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm thinking, and that's always scary. Sit you there, sit you there. I'll adhere you to that one very quickly because I'll have to go shortly. All right, we can do this. This is not going to take us long at all. Right, sticking him down. Sit you back over there. Down onto this one, and I want that pinkish colour down there so that it'll go with the pink dream catchers that I've got on the other side. Even though this is a hidden tab, but when it goes out I still want it to be, see how it then goes with the ones on this side. So I've just slightly kept it all together. No, if you ask my family, I've never got it together. That's what I want. Right. And yes, I know I should wait for this to dry because it's 2 lots of cardstock, which makes it a bit thicker. But for the purposes of this, we'll just chop away and hope for the best. Right. So, because I've just covered that, I'll re-ink it like that. And around and around and around and around we go. And I saw in amongst all those were these beautiful little things. No day is over if it makes it a memory. Never underestimate the power of a smile. That's the one I like. So we'll just chop this guy out. Try and go straight, Kylie. It's hard sometimes. Most times. It's kind of straight. But then that's why I ink. Because inking hides a multitude of sins. All right. It may need something just a little bit deeper on it because that's going to be lost in there, isn't it? So, what other colours do we have in amongst here? We do have that green, which was this green originally. So let's have a look and see if we put it, you know, what else do we have in that paper pad? So maybe there's a slightly deeper. Let's have a look. There's got to be a deeper one in here that's a plainish colour that I can use if I haven't already used them all up. Oh, here we go. That's a green. No. Lots of greens. That might work. Let's have a quick look. That's better, isn't it? So let's go that way. I'll just give this one a quick glue and put glue everywhere. Really? Stick it on the top of that one just so that we give ourselves a little bit of an edge. Give him a push. Chop around him. And up there, like that. Again, back with our ink, which will give it a slightly deeper toning as well around the edge, just to really highlight it. Right. put the lid back on the glue. And put the lid back on the glue. Now that's highlighted that beautifully, hasn't it? So, I'll glue that one again. Put my scissors away. Glue down here. To my corners. Pop that one on there. Round about by eye. I don't think that's straight at all, but that's okay. It'll be fine. Need something else down here. I'm just very quickly chopping this bit out, which is every day is a new adventure. And it's in that deeper of that one. If I can just, this is so not going to be straight. In which case that should have gone up further, but that's all right. It's too late now. Right. Glue him. Get rid of this page on the glue book because it's getting very gluey. Just so that I've got an even-ish. And that really shows just how crooked it was. Right. I want a piece of lace up here for a lace tab. Now I had that one. No, I know the one I want because I saw it a minute ago. You're a bit big, I think. You're a bit big. Let's have a look at my book again. And we'll pop that in there. So my lace is going to sit out here. Probably needs to be that mid one that I already used in here. I'm thinking. So I just snip that. Find the midway point again. So I'll go from my grid. I've got an inch either side, and then 3/4 of an inch and 3/4 of an inch. So that shows that this little bit here is my centre point. We'll put a little bit of glue on there. If it comes out, it's getting, oh, here we go. I know what I mean by a little bit. Turn it over. Pop a little bit on the other side. And fold it over like so. Ugh. Wait for it to dry, or blow on it, or, you know, it's almost dry. And then that one can go in there like so. How's that? Oh, I like them. All right, thank you for joining me. If you do like it, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. We'll continue to work on this. Hopefully, I'll get a few more tutorials done with pages and you can craft along with me. I'd like to at least get this signature done in tutorials. So this is part 2. The rest I will probably just work on, and then we'll do a full flip through. So I hope you've all had a good Christmas. Those of you that have just got through Christmas, let's all hope 2021 will be so much more exciting. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.